Hey, what's up guys? iTech411 here, and I have my full review of the TYLT Energi sliding power case for the Apple iPhone 5. Now this is actually a two-part case, and you can see that we do have a front or outer piece, which is the charging case, and then we do have a regular case. See, it does come in black, and it comes in blue with this combination, so it's nice that TYLT included two pairs. Now taking a look at the case itself, you can see that both the top and the bottom are pretty nice and accessible, and the back is nice too, with the nice camera cutout and the nice TYLT logo on the bottom right hand corner, which does look pretty cool, and I definitely like the TYLT logo. However, when we run into some problems, and some big problems, is in the mute switch and the volume buttons. They're very difficult to get to, and it's basically virtually impossible to get to without using your fingernail, having to dig deep in there. So it's a little bit of a big annoyance for me, and I really just don't really like this part of the case. But apart from that, the rest of the case is pretty good, except for the next part, which I'm also going to show you, which is actually the top, and that it does not have a lay on the table design. In fact, the sides of the case go below the screen, so if you're setting your phone face down on a table, it'll actually be touching the screen to the table, which can be fixed with a screen protector, but that's just an extra cost. Now, to install this case, you just slide in your phone, and it's pretty simple to do, and you just put it in the lightning connector and make sure that it's all the way in. Then you go around to the back and hold down the power button for a couple seconds, and it will start charging. And I found that this charges within 2 hours. I got almost exactly 2 hours to charge from 0 to 100%, so it's definitely very fast charging with this case. Now taking a look at the case itself, you can see that it does add a lot of thickness, and it adds a lot of weight. Now this is kind of what to expect with a battery case, and it's because of the battery that is on the back. It's nearly double the weight and double the thickness of the original iPhone 5. Now this isn't too bad, and you can still definitely use it for just using basic tasks, like for instance browsing Twitter, which I am right here. You can see that it's still not too heavy and not too bad for just doing basic stuff like that and using your phone without any problems, without being too heavy or thick. And taking a look at the back of the case, you can see we have a nice camera cutout, a nice TYLT logo in the middle of the case, and it also is a nice soft touch feeling. It does get a lot of fingerprints, but it can be wiped off pretty easily, and it's really comfortable, smooth, matte black material. I definitely like what TYLT has done. It is pretty rubbery and soft, but it is still durable and gives you pretty good protection. Now on the bottom, another problem you have is that the headphone connector is pretty far, and you do have most connectors will not reach. However, TYLT does supply an extender, so you can go ahead and plug that into the bottom of the case, and you should be able to fit most cases and most headphones in with the adapter. So it's not too big a problem, but it is a little bit of an extra hassle to have to carry around the adapter with you to use most headphones. However, it is nice that they included the adapter. Now this charges with micro USB, which TYLT does include, and it is a nice feature that you don't have to use a lightning connector. Now this case does cover up both the microphone and the speaker, so you will have a little bit of muffled audio when calling and a little bit of distortion when listening to music. However, the average person won't really be able to notice it, but it definitely is there, and if you're a big music person, then you will notice it. So overall, I do like this case. It's a little bit pricey for $99, but it adds a tremendous value and convenience. For 2500 milliamps, it'll charge your iPhone 5 almost twice, and like I said before, very fast charging in almost exactly 2 hours. So I definitely would recommend this case, and you can go ahead and check out the link in the description to find more. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and subscribe, and don't forget to check out this product. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.